Hi everybody, it's Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium, and today I want to talk to you about grounding yourself. But first, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce the very lazy dogs behind me. You will see the black dog is Zoe, won't even wake up for this, and the tan dog is Dasher. And yes, they basically sleep all day. What a life. So anyway, we're going to talk about grounding today, and I'm going to tell you why we're going to talk about grounding today. Today is July 1st, 2020. Now, I'm sure there are amazing and probably life-changing astrological things happening right now. I love astrology. I believe in astrology. I follow it as to the degree that I can, but I don't understand it. I just don't have that kind of brain that understands astrology. So I'm prefacing this by saying that because I understand that we are in an astrological crazy time, as well as being in the middle of a pandemic with COVID-19. We are in the middle of a lot of political unrest right now in the United States and also in other countries. But more so in the United States, I think, than ever in my, lifetime for sure. And what's happening is that we, us humans, are experiencing this ungrounding. We're not grounded anymore. Too many things are hitting us at once. Too many things that we can't process. Too many things we don't have answers for. We don't have any answers for any of these things. Most of us disagree with whatever we think needs to happen. And what this is doing is it's making us feel ungrounded, and that can also represent or come forth in feeling fuzzy-headed, or your intuition feels off, or you just don't feel right. You just don't know what's wrong, but something just doesn't feel good, right? I'm going to also say that this video is really intended towards the empaths out there. If you're an empath, some of you know what that means, some of you don't. An empath is a person that is very empathic, that feels the energy, but also feels for other people. So you would be the person who would give your lunch, your last bit of lunch, to the homeless person because you just felt so bad for them. You would be the person that has stray dogs and cats. You're the person that feels other people's pain. You feel it in you. It's personal, Most people, or let's just say people that aren't empaths, are able to compartmentalize. So they're able to say, my gosh, that's terrible. What I just saw was terrible. But they don't feel it. They don't take it into their energetic body. Us empaths, we do take it into our energetic body. It's a real problem because in a time like now that's unprecedented, basically we are getting bombarded with this really intense energy that doesn't feel good to us. We sense the sadness, we sense the pain, we sense the fear. These things all become part of our body and our energetic body, and we carry that around with us, and it wears us down. It not only wears us down, but it makes us less effective at work. It makes us less effective in our relationships. It makes us less we have less ability to focus on things, to really concentrate. We don't get as many things done as we'd like. We feel we're lost. Okay? So that's why my guides and my angels have been asking me to do this video for 2 days now about grounding, okay? I don't care if you're an empath or not. This video is for you if you're watching it, because that means you've been led here to learn how to ground yourself. So what does grounding mean? That's a really good question. Some of us are more earth-oriented, and some of us are more air-oriented. Also, astrology, your astrological sign will dictate that. I have a lot of earth and water in me. Somebody else might have more air in their chart, and that makes up their personality. That infuses into their energy. So I don't feel good when I'm not grounded because I have so much earth in my chart. But even if you have a lot of air and you like to fly, you like to just woo, go with the flow and feel loose. Okay, that's great, but you still need to ground sometime. So to ground, what we're going to do is we're going to, for the sake of this particular video, we're going to teach you how to quickly and simply ground yourself no matter where you are. If you're on the 10th floor of an office building, we're still going to be able to ground you. If you're able to go outside and put your feet in, your bare feet into grass, into dirt, into soil, into Mother Earth, into Gaia, great. Doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to be able to ground yourself. And grounding is going to calm your energy down. It's going to make your energy connect with Mother Earth. And that's going to make you feel more stabilized. It's going to make you feel more protected. It's going to make you feel more calm. It's going to make you feel more supported. Okay? So to do this, very simple. If you're sitting in a house like I am right now, this house is actually about 10 or 12 feet off the ground, but I'm still going to ground myself. So I'm sitting in my office chair with my feet flat on the floor, and I'm going to now balance myself, feel my my sitting bones, if you will, my butt sit right into the seat, firmly planted. I'm going to plant my feet on the ground, even if I have shoes on and I cannot take them off. I'm going to put my feet flat on the ground. I'm going to put my hands nice and comfortable in my lap. I'm going to take some deep breaths. Of course, I don't really want you doing this if you're driving. So if you're driving, please don't do this. You can always come back to this video anytime. Couple of deep breaths. We're going to feel that tension drain from our shoulders. We're going to just feel how nice and comfortable we are. And we're going to feel the weight of our butt in our seat. We're going to feel that connection to our seat. Whether you're sitting on the ground or you're sitting on your floor of your house or you're sitting in an office chair, does not matter. Okay, we're going to feel that energy in our butt. We're going to feel that go down our legs. This energy is very strong. It feels like a very strong cable going down our legs, and it goes past your knees, down your calves, past your ankles, and it goes into your feet, and it goes straight down. Nothing can stop this energy. Nothing can stop this cable. It goes straight down into the earth. You can see it. You can see it as it hits the grass. Even if it's concrete, you can see it go through the concrete. Easily go through the concrete, through the grass, through the dirt, through the water, whatever's beneath you. And it goes into Mother Earth, into Gaia. And these cables are your energy. And your energy through these cables are going into Mother Earth, and they're going deep down, deeper than any tree root, deeper than anything. And at that point where you're so deep and you can feel it, you can actually feel it grasp. You can feel it hook, connect in. It connects into Mother Earth. You are now grounded. Feel her energy come up those cables into you. Feel her love. Feel the support. Feel the strength of Mother Earth. There isn't anything stronger on Earth than Mother Earth. And she's coming up into you. As you are a tree, a rooted sequoia. It's huge. And you're rooted into the ground, and you feel that strength come into you. I can feel it. I can feel it. My fists are actually balls because I can feel this energy, this strength coming into me and grounding me, calming me down, giving me the support that I need, right? So I went from feeling like I was standing on one foot, on my tippy toes on one foot before, because I wasn't grounded. I wasn't connected into Mother Earth. Now I feel both of my feet touching the ground. I feel the coursing connection of the energy to Mother Earth, and she comes up into me and she's grounding me. Now, I could sit here and work at my desk like this if I wanted to for quite a while. I could sit here for an hour. I could sit here for several hours if I wanted to continue being grounded. It's almost as if you're putting something on a recharging something, like if you're plugging in a cordless vacuum cleaner, right? And it's recharging. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like I'm being recharged. And even if you're an air person, it's important to come down and get this charging from time to time. If you're an earth person, it's even more important for you because this particular time in our lives is very scattering. It scatters our energy. It makes us feel lightheaded and dizzy and goofy. And we're not goofy people, we're earth people. So we need to ground. We need to reclaim that energy, that grounding energy. But it can also help you if you're an airy person and you like to fly and be free. That's fine too, but you still need to come in and ground. It'll help you protect yourself from other energies. It'll help you balance and focus yourself. So if you're an air kind of person, or you're the kind of person that just loves to fly and flow with with whatever, this would be a good thing to do before you go to work. So if there's a time in your life or a time in your day where you need to really focus and you need to be super concentrating, this is when you would ground. This is when you would actually do this practice. For the rest of us, it's literally a matter of self-care. We need this. We can't operate without being grounded from time to time. Now, how often should you do this? Again, so I mentioned if you're an air person and you need to concentrate, this is the time to do this. If you're an earth person, or if you just feel wackadoodle, things are crazy in your life and you can't seem to get anything done and you can't seem to hold a thought, means you need to ground. This is your big red sign. You need to ground. So it's so easy. How easy was that? It can take 20 seconds. It can take a minute. It can take as long as you want. You can do it anywhere. And it's so important to do. And so my guides have asked me to do this video because it's so important for us to be doing this right now. The energy is just too much. It's pushing us around. We're not stable. We're not connected. And we really, at this time, need to be able to make very important decisions. We need to have our wits about us. So grounding is important. How do you disconnect? I just pulled my feet up. Just as a matter of talking to you, I just decided to pull my feet up and put my toes down. So I've just disconnected. Mother Earth is there for you 24/7. So you can connect and disconnect as easy as if you're plugging something in and unplugging it. It's that easy. There doesn't have to be a big thing about it. There are other ways to ground, okay? So because I have a lot of water in my chart, I love taking baths. I am a bath taker. As a matter of fact, the crazier things around me get, or the crazier that my life gets, I need to take a bath. So, and not only do I just take any bath, I pour Epsom salt in my bath. I pour 2 pounds of Epsom salt in my bath, because that flushes the toxic vibes, energy, minerals. It flushes it out of your system. That's what the Epsom salt does. What the bath does for me is it allows me to ground in a different way. Because I have so much water in my chart, I feel at home in water. I feel at home in swimming pools. I feel at home floating in water. So taking a bath is another way for you to ground, for you to connect back to the energy, plug back into the energy that matches your energy. Okay? So I honestly, as I'm saying that, I don't really know how you would ground an air person. I feel like what I'm hearing my guides say is air people need to ground to earth. They don't need to do it as often necessarily, but that would be the most important thing for them to do. Now, if you're an air person and you love water, then what you probably have is a lot of air in your chart, and air is Aries and water is Cancer, let's just say, and earth is Virgo. There's other signs, but let's just use those for an example. So if you're drawn to water, by all means, honor that. Honor that. Take baths. Make time to take baths. So instead of like taking a bath as a way to get ready for work in the morning, because nobody has time to do that, you actually set aside 30 minutes to an hour of me time, and you go into the bathroom and you get in the bath and you make it any way you want, with Epsom salt, without Epsom salt, with bubble bath, with candles, with music. This is your time. So honor that. Honor that. That will also help match your energy to the water in the tub or whatever it is that you're in, and that will make you feel better. Another way to ground yourself is with crystals. This is a black obsidian crystal, basically a rock, if you ask me. I know you crystal hounds out there are going to have a lot to say about this. I'm not a crystal hound, but I'll tell you this. When this started really ramping up for me in my midlife, as I've said in other videos, I could always do this, but it scared the bejesus out of me, so I didn't do it. But my guides had other plans for me, and they decided that I needed to career change in the middle of my life. Thank you. But when I started ramping up with this, I luckily have a friend who's into crystals, and I was having these experiences where I was flying, like y'all, I was flying. I was in my truck, just like feeling like I was on a roller coaster. And I'm driving on an interstate highway that is not a roller coaster. It's flat. There's no hills. There's no curves. There's no fun, But I'm driving this car and I'm feeling as if I'm on a roller coaster. By the time, luckily, I was going to her house. You see how this coincidence is not really coincidence? By the time I got out of the truck, she took one look at me and said, "What is wrong with you?" I probably looked wild-eyed. And I said, "I don't know." I said, "This is the craziest thing. I feel like I'm flying. I feel like I'm not on Earth. I feel like I'm zipping around somewhere else." And I was actually breathing kind of hard, and had not even had any more than my normal caffeine or anything else that would no prescription drugs, nothing on board that would maybe be a reason. So she immediately went and got grounding crystals, gave them to me, and I held them. And then I went out into her backyard and took my shoes off and walked in the grass. And about 10 minutes later, I felt 100% better. So now what I do, if I'm going to have a day where I'm starting to fly, quote unquote, I will wear crystals, put crystals in my pockets to ground me, to help me ground, I will say. It doesn't do all the work, but it does affect your energy. So this, like I said, this is a black obsidian. Pyrite is another one that can ground you. I have a funny story about pyrite. My guides will talk to me at night because I wasn't giving them the time during the day to talk to me. I was busy and I was putting stuff in my brain and they couldn't get in. So at night, they will literally wake me up and chant. They'll chant things at me until I wake up. So I wake up hearing this being chanted. Pyrite, pyrite, payrite, pyrite. I'm like, what is that? I write it down, and then I call my crystal friend, and she says that is something that is a grounding crystal. So they're telling you need to ground more. So pyrite, black obsidian, smoky quartz. I have a list. That's what I'm looking at. Smoky quartz is really good because it'll ground you, and it'll also kind of clean the energy around you. So it does a dual purpose, which is really nice. Tiger's eye is a really pretty crystal rock thing, but it also is a grounding. I know y'all are gonna make fun of me. I'm telling you, this is a tool for me. I don't remember all the crystals, but I know it works. And then red jasper. Red jasper is another one. I'm sure there's more. There's thousands of crystals. They all have very important healing properties that you should look into. If you're drawn to crystals, Google it, look it up. They have crystals for healing, crystals for compassion, crystals for confidence, crystals to open your psychic awareness. That's why it's important to not just buy a pretty crystal and wear it, because you might be wearing a crystal that is enhancing something that you don't want to enhance at that time. Like if you wear your psychic awareness crystal to your work meeting, you might get some interesting insights about your coworkers, but it also may not help you stay on task, right? It's going to connect you to a different type of intelligence that may be a problem. Anyway, listen, I hope this was helpful. It's really important. I have to tell you, my guides are really hammering this right now. They're like, you guys have got to ground. It's really, really important. They need us all to ground. So please ground. And what else can I say? Susan Lynn, psychic medium. If you would like a reading, I do mediumship readings. I do psychic readings. I can help you out with a lot of things. You can check me out in the information here on the YouTube channel. And if you liked this video, please like it. And if you would like to know when I do more videos, you can subscribe. That would be super awesome as well. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know it is a crazy time right now. All I can tell you is to just keep your head down and do your best. And we'll all get through this together. Take care, you guys.